Teak leather. Right, thank you.
Yes, yeah. No. Yeah.
Railway station's interesting, isn't it? Clown railway station on the trail, because they've taken the E off. Yeah. It always makes me laugh. Here we are in what was the informal marketplace down the years. There used to be a little market here selling surplus veg mainly. In the market hall here, dairy, cheese, eggs, that kind of thing. And the market hall is now an information centre, lots of information locally about what's going on if you want the time. And I mentioned the shoot shop. Just in having a look. So we're here to start with to look at a couple of buildings. First of all, the hall across the way, built in 1672 by Mr. Thomas Wright as a wedding present for his son, and it's still in the ownership of the Wright family today. They still live locally, some of them. The hall is open to the public for a few weeks a year in the spring and the autumn. It's now mainly used as a wedding venue. As you can see, there's got some shops and a cafe and a food and a restaurant in the courtyard here. A lovely old building. I was based there for a few years when the National Trust ran it for a while, doing this. And I can, it's well worth visiting if you get a chance. But as I say, it's not open to the public yet. It does not play any part in the plague story because it wasn't here at the time of the plague. We have another building to my right, unique in the village for obvious reasons. Can anybody tell me what you think it's called? You've seen the signs, yes. I'm testing your eyesight, not your knowledge. Thank you very much. There's two signs here. The brick house, built in the 18th century when there were no planning restrictions, so they got away with facing it on two sides with red brick. You wouldn't be able to do that today. It's a lovely old house. It's recently been sold for quite a pretty penny, but I do believe it needs some work, renovations, particularly inside. But yeah, a lovely old house. Wasn't in at one time, and then the last 80 or 90 years it's been a private residence. Okay, to my left in that direction is a very important piece of land in the village. As you can see, the land drops away here. If you go that way, you'll fall off a cliff into Middleton Dale, which carries the Manchester Road. Down here it's a little bit more gentle. There's a stream coming down, there's a ravine here. Just to the side of that ravine, there's a small, I would describe it as an amphitheatre or a bowl in the land with a grotto at one end. and it plays a very important part in the plague story and in village life today. And it's called Cooklet Delf. I'm going to repeat it because I want you to remember it. Cooklet Delf, okay? And it's just over there, so you need to remember where it is. You can go and have a look. It's not so. It's limestone, bare limestone underfoot, so in dry weather it's fine. When it's wet it gets very slippery, but if you go through the car park here and follow the signs, you can end up down there if you wish. I don't have time on the tour to take you, but it's well worth a look if you feel inclined. So, you're probably wondering why we're standing here next to these stocks. These are in fact replicas. They were put here in 1952 as part of the Festival of Britain celebrations. But there were stocks on the village green down through hundreds and hundreds of years, and these are connected with lead mining. Way back in the midst of time, in 1288, I believe in the reign of Edward I.
Yeah.
Hope I'm right, thank you. You're obviously a historian, madam.
Well, not exactly, but yes.
I always doubt myself, but anyway, thank you. So it was decided by the establishment that the lead mining industry, primitive though it was, needed some form of regulation. And so they gave the task of regulating the lead mining industry to an institution called the Barmote Court. And the Barmote Court was sat in two places in Derbyshire, at Monash and Wirksworth. The Wirksworth Court still sits once a year, but I think it's just an excuse for a bit of a booze up, really. But they were tasked with making sure bylaws were kept up to date, disputes were settled between miners and other tenant miners and landowners, and also to inflict punishment where punishment was needed for any misdemeanour. So if you'd fallen foul of the law, you could have been sat there on your backside with your legs through there in a very uncomfortable position, possibly with your accomplice or sometimes with your enemy who you'd fallen out with, and you were of course very helpless, and you could be the target of some unsavoury object, shall we say, particularly on a pleasant day when there's some rotting vegetables about, but not a good place to be. You can't all see this, but on this side of there is a padlock and an iron lock that keeps these locked. My colleague and I, when we worked out of Eyam Hall, we used to do a lot of school groups, so we used to take a big iron key with us, and we'd say to the youngsters, it's a very tidy village, there's no litter here. If you're seen dropping litter, we'll put you in the stocks and we have the key. And of course, no litter was ever dropped. But there you go. Not a good place to be, particularly nice on a sunny day like today. Okay, we're going to cross the road, so please don't cross the